but
I
I'm like,
know.
I feel like a bitch not doing it.
I know, right? I saw one of my really good friends yesterday, and she said, I know I'm not supposed to hug you, but can I please give you a hug? And I said, I need a hug so bad, it's not even funny.
All right, so we are.
I feel like a bitch not doing it.
I know.
Now you're the president of the chamber, is that right?
Yeah, executive director of the chamber now. So
Oh, that is so cool. Well, I can't wait to hear all about it. So we'll go over that live. I saw you did one on CB Cucci's site too.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
I've done a few different videos and kind of interviews, especially surrounding, COVID and all that kind of stuff here recently. So I'm just snuggled in here at home, getting everything.
You're a pro.
All right, ladies. So we are going live. We are live on YouTube now, and we're about to go live on Facebook.
Awesome. Well, we'll give it a couple seconds so it warms up, because I know that's how this works now. We got to kill a little time here. Oh my gosh. So have you been working from home right now?
It's rough because there's a reason why a teacher is a career, and there's a reason why I am not in that career field, because I just don't have the patience for it, and now I've got that for 3 kids, and so I've got a 4th grader, a 5th grader, and a 6th grader, and trying to teach them from home and manage my chamber business and manage the house and operate as a single parent while my husband is gone. It's incredibly crazy, but I
bet. And you can't ask for help. I mean, because you can't have other people say like, hey, can you take my kids for, you can't do that right now. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Oh, Chloe, how are we looking? Are we on Facebook yet?
Nope, we're good to go.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. Well, then I guess we'll go ahead and start our live Zoom meeting. So I'm Kelli Lang here with ReMax Gateway, beautiful Anacortes, Oak Harbor, Washington. And we've got Miranda here, and I wanted her to kind of introduce herself and tell her a little bit about what she does.
Yeah, so I'm Miranda Hoppock, and I'm the Executive Director of the Oak Harbor Chamber of Commerce. Before I was at the Chamber of Commerce, I was a mortgage loan officer with Cornerstone Home Lending. And before I was in mortgage, I was in the Navy. So I was active duty for 6 years and got off of active duty at 6 years when our daughter Jaden got diagnosed with cancer at 7 months old. Don't worry, she's doing great now. She's 10, almost 11, or no, she's 11. My gosh. Oh my.
I know, time flies, right?
Yes, and she is full of life and energy. And we also have a daughter, Gemma, who is in 4th grade, and our son Jeremiah is our oldest, and he's in 6th grade right now. So got our hands full with kids, and that's kind of how I got to where I am right now. Got married to my wonderful husband. We've been married now for 13 years. We met in the Navy, and we both got stationed up here in Oak Harbor. So lucky enough to call Oak Harbor home for the last 14, almost 15 years now. So
oh my, it's been a while. So how long have you been with the chamber now? Has it been a year?
Nope. I've only been with the chamber now for 7 months. So
hey girl, that's almost a year, right?
I know, right? I know.
Oh my gosh. Well, tell us a little bit about what you do for the chamber.
Yeah, so the Chamber's mission and vision is to support and promote the business interests of the greater Oak Harbor, greater Whidbey Island area. So we really do 5 main things for our members, and we operate as the marketing arm for our members. We advocate on legislative affairs for our members. We host events. We're community connectors. And then we're a member-driven nonprofit. So, so those are really our 5 areas that the chamber focuses on. But we really, really try to make sure that we're serving our mission and our vision, and helping our businesses any way that we can, helping our members, and making sure that we're connecting the community to our business members, other businesses to each other, so that way they can help support each other, and then also the military to our community and to our businesses.
That's so cool. So I'm sure over the last, what, 4 weeks, however long we've been on this shutdown, which I'm starting to lose track of right now.
Yeah.
How has your job shifted and changed after COVID-19?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
so much shifting, so much change. So not only are we trying to balance keeping chamber financially stable and afloat, we're also trying to support our members and our community in providing resources. Just talking with the Planning and Development Commission today, our restaurants for this time of the year are down 34%. Retail is down 56%. Tourism is down 70%, and that's a big thing for our island and for Oak Harbor specifically, is tourism and bringing in those people with events and fundraisers.
Yeah.
And not being able to hold those. Like Chamber had to cancel our Holland Happening Parade and Festival. That was very, very difficult.
Which that has been going on for how long? I mean, the Holland Happening. I mean, as long as I've been alive, I remember. I mean, they have to be going on how many?
50 years. So 2 years ago, I believe, was the 50th anniversary. Maybe it was last year was the 50th anniversary of Holland Happening Parade and Festival. So yeah, it's a blow, to the community and to some of our spirits.
For sure. Everybody is just definitely challenged during this time. So what resources are there available for the small businesses in town? I'm sure you've got probably a ton of ideas and things that have been going on at the chamber.
Yeah, so we're doing everything that we can at Chamber to make sure that we're supporting our businesses and our members. And obviously, we can't create marketing plans for everybody. We don't have that time and that resource. But we try to make sure that we're updating the community. Anytime a business has updates that they want shared with the community, different operations, different ideas or specials, we're putting that out and promoting that as much as we can. Trying to encourage our community to visit our local shops, and retail obviously has been hit the hardest right now. But really all of our kind of mom and pop shops, are places that have 20 or less employees, are really struggling right now, especially if they're in that retail space. So we're trying to make sure that we're encouraging the community to support local. Try and buy gift cards if you can. Don't just immediately go to a big box, Amazon type place. See if there's a way that you can order something online from your local retailer and have it shipped or curbside pickup, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of resources on our chamber website also.
Okay.
We have a link and a whole page dedicated just to coronavirus. So there's a lot of resources there. There's resources for businesses, and then there's resources for the community also. So if you want specific disaster information, you can get that there. And if you want to know what the local restaurants are doing, you can get that information there also.
So tell us a little bit about what you've seen in the community and kind of how they've rallied for the small businesses. I'm sure you're seeing quite a bit of kindness and compassion out there.
Yeah, lots of kindness and compassion. We have little pay it forward moments that are popping up all over the place.
I want to hear one. Can you share one with us?
Oh my gosh, yes. So I saw a little pay it forward moment, and it was the Wine Fairy, who I am a very big fan of. I definitely need the Wine Fairy to come.
Nobody will turn down the Wine Fairy, right?
Yeah. So somebody put a post on Facebook that they opened their door and there was a bottle of wine with a note attached to it, and it said, "The Wine Fairy has come and stopped by. So here are your instructions. Lysol this bottle, open this bottle, drink this bottle."
That is so great. And during times like this, everybody needs a little bit of that kindness and compassionate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know it was cute. I went through the coffee stand not too long ago too, and obviously somebody had paid it forward quite a bit, and so I reaped the benefits of getting a free coffee, and then I paid for the next people in line, right? But I
Yes.
just love little stuff like that, just kind of
Yes.
helping people out. And then we've really been doing the gift cards too. So for all of our closings and stuff, we've been buying a lot of local gift cards, encouraging people to still order takeout, pickup, curbside service to the local restaurants, which is awesome. I mean, we've been trying at least 2 to 3 times a week to order takeout from the restaurants just to continue to support.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
because we want to see them all thriving when all the doors open back up. I'm sure we'll have precautions we still have to take, and there's going to be changes as to how we dine and that kind of stuff, which is hard to predict how we're all going to handle this in the future. I'm sure, have you guys had some conversations on that too, as to once the doors do open back up, what's maybe to be expected, or what can we maybe plan for?
Yeah. And I've been working with the city very closely also about how can we kind of reintroduce the community to feeling safe to come out and to participate in events. So, so some of the things that, that we've been talking about are, having some smaller gatherings, things that would have normally been a very large event, have them more sprawling, more spread out, or not have quite as much at those events. So, for instance, taking Holland Happening into, as an example, into consideration.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had to cancel Holland Happening, but if we were to try and recreate a Holland Happening of any kind, instead of having the parade, the festival, the street fair, the carnival, just have the parade, or just have the street fair and the parade. So that way we don't have quite as much gathering all at once.
Yeah.
So
no, I think that's great. I think it's going to be a trying time for us all to figure out how comfortable we are in big public settings, and I think it's going to be baby steps really to get used to it again, which, I mean, I'm a huge sports fan, so I'm devastated not to be able to go watch a Seahawks game or go watch my kids wrestle or things like that.
Yes.
Huge places like the Tacoma Dome, where you're going, okay, now how are we going to handle that? What are athletes and how are our events going to be, handled? And I think we're all kind of wondering that right now as to how people feel. But I don't know, what's your census been out there? Because out, kind of working and talking to people, I've been feeling like 50% are very, cautious, and we're a little more worried. And then I've got about another 50% that still want to hug me the second I see them. Right. So it's that it's that hard, you feel a little weird to like shake somebody's hand or give them a hug because they, you don't know if they're comfortable or not. And we're all trying to keep 6 feet apart. So I don't know, are you kind of seeing that too, that like, some people are really worried and some people are not as worried about it?
Absolutely. I'm seeing that. And I would mirror that about 50% type ratio there. And it's really kind of the difference between the younger generation that aren't as at risk and the older generation that are more at risk, or those people with an immuno suppression issue like myself. I'm just now out of chemo, not even a year. So I'm still in that really high risk category.
And congratulations on that, by the way. That's
Thank
huge.
You.
So cool to hear. I'm sure we could talk gratitudes all day long and your blessings, because I mean, you have more than most people I know, in the sense of giving new leases on life and appreciation for probably waking up every day and having a heart full of gratitude.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely seeing that some people are more apt to wanting to get back to doing things as normal, and that all of this has been an overreaction, and then other people that are legitimately very fearful still, even though here in Island County and in the state of Washington, we're at the point now where we're kind of plateauing before we start on the downward side of the curve. So, and I think that that's where it's going to be important to really look at making sure that we're reintegrating in phases, in appropriate phases for appropriate people, and based on how you feel safely.
Exactly. So are there any businesses in need, not that you have to name names or anything, but is there any way that the general public in the community can help besides, buying the gift cards, or are there any other things that they can be doing?
I really, recommend looking at our chamber website. We do have businesses on there that are doing special offerings during this time. Specifically, we have businesses that are trying to help other businesses. Ashley's Design right now is doing specials on their shirts. And if you
Nice.
order a shirt, then part of those funds are going to go to help one of our local businesses. So you could order a shirt through Ashley's, and then it would have a specific company name or logo on it, and they're running different specials. I don't know if it's every week or every couple weeks, but then a portion of those proceeds go to that business.
Yeah.
So and we have a lot of those things on our website. Candlewood Inn and Suites was doing a staycation isolation. So if you just needed to kind of get away from your house and your kids, that you could go isolate in one of their rooms,
I love it.
have some room service and a nice quiet room. So there's a lot of places that are doing stuff like that, and really anything that you can to support our local businesses.
So I'm just kind of curious because I've seen other things posted on Facebook. Were several of the small businesses able to get some of those SBA PPP loans? I mean, did they have some success with that, I'm hoping?
Yeah, so some of the businesses have been able to get the PPP loans.
That's awesome.
The EIDL loans are still in process, and we're just now starting to see some of the businesses getting like a hard credit check pull based around those EIDL loans. So I think that we're going to see a little bit of delay in the EIDL. I do know that some of our local lenders are doing the PPP loans, facilitating those, and have started funding some of those. I know that Heritage Woodby Island Bank has funded quite a few of those.
People's also does it. People's
Absolutely.
has been very reliable and fast for several businesses that I've known as well.
Yes.
I don't know if you're hearing this too, and this is just putting information out there for our small business owners. And what I've heard when I talked to People's was there was going to be, most likely, as soon as Congress approves it, another batch of funds.
Yes.
Maybe 250 billion, fingers crossed, that could go out next week. And what the lender I spoke with said is for any of the businesses that didn't get it and approved, to get them in now and get on the waiting list, because the money will be gone just as fast again as soon as the doors open back up. So I think getting on that waiting list with your local bank that you have a business checking with is extremely important information for our small businesses that need those loans and need those funds.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And the other thing is that if you've applied for the PPP loan and you were approved for the PPP loan, and then for some reason you're deciding that that's maybe not the best thing for your business, make sure that you're giving that funding back to your bank, so they can then put that back into the pot for somebody else that really absolutely has to have it. I know that a lot of people were just applying to make sure that they got their names in there and that they had their kind of foot in the door for it. But if you absolutely don't need that, please don't utilize that resource, because there are definitely people out there that do need it.
And you really need to talk to the professionals about it, because each program is so different. And there was so much information that was getting out there that was not correct. Some of it was correct. And then how to spend it, to involve your accountant in that too, to make sure you're tracking it. So if you do get to actually write it all off and you get basically free money. With that being said, you documented it properly as well. So making sure that you're talking to your professionals, I think, is really, really important when it comes to getting those loans. So
absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. And I know that that the majority of the accountants, they're all really up to speed on the changes that are coming out with all of these loans and the assistance that you need from them specifically to give to to the banks, and they're getting their marching orders and their instructions directly from IRS also.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So if anybody needs help with that, I'm sure there's probably resources on your site too about small business loans, where they can get them, because just so you know too, not every bank does them, and there's only a couple that specialize in them. And so I know I've had people like asking me, and I was like, you guys, you cannot just go to any bank. There's a lot of them that don't touch those loans at all. And it was so inundating when they all came out that it was just, I mean, those lenders and bankers were working overtime. I mean, just insane hours to process those applications to help the businesses, which was really cool to see. So,
and the word that we've gotten from me reaching out to lenders and me talking to the other chambers here on the island, it's looking like People's Bank, Heritage would be Island Bank, Savvy Bank are the ones that are really opening their doors to new and existing members for these PPP loans. Wells Fargo is only for existing members, and US Bank isn't accepting applications right now. But if a further funding comes available, then it looks like they would open up their applications again.
I think Banner also is doing it from what I'd heard. So I know Banner's another one that's doing the SBA loans too. So
yeah, and I haven't had a chance to talk to them yet.
Okay. Yeah, no, and I mean, it doesn't hurt to have a list, so that way, you know, you're ready to go. If the next batch of funds open up, you know, make sure you got all your ducks in a row and you have an application in hand for sure.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Yeah. So anything else you're seeing out there that you'd love to share with us?
Yeah, so one of the things that was brought to my attention by the city of Oak Harbor, their new public affairs information contact, Sabrina Combs, was the 1200 pledge. And that's something that you can see on our website also. And basically, it's a movement and a pledge around the stimulus check that that was issued and being issued by the federal administration right now. That if you don't need that $1,200, that you go in and you go into the 1200 pledge and you pledge to spend that $1,200 in your local community to help support local business.
Love that.
Yeah, so that's
so cool. So where can we see that, or where can I share information on that?
Yeah, so that's on our website, and it's 1200 pledge, and it's all over the nation, and it's not you know, you're not giving your money to the website, you're just taking the pledge, you're just saying that yes, I'm going to dedicate part of these funds or all of these funds from the stimulus payment to my local community. So yeah, so I really think that that's important, that that we're getting some of our community members on board with that and making sure that if they don't need that stimulus money for everyday living, that they're trying to pledge and put that back into our community.
Oh, that's so cool. So cool to hear. And then I don't want to keep you too much longer, and super grateful to have you on here. It's such a blessing. I would just love to hear maybe why you love your job so much.
Oh my gosh. You know, I've had people ask me that before, and it's so hard to answer that question because there are so many things that I love. I love being able to be in the community. I love helping, you know, host events and put on events. You know, that's obviously so much fun. But really, I think it comes to me, it's a little bit of selfishness on my part. I get fulfillment in my own heart by helping somebody else. So, so basically, I make myself feel good by
you're a giver.
Somebody else, you know, by seeing somebody else succeed, or by giving them a gift of some kind. It brings me joy and happiness. So that's
your love language, honey.
Exactly. So I like giving little things of value, little gifts, little surprises and tokens, you know. And sometimes those little surprises and tokens are an actual thing that you can hold on to, and other times it's just a phone call, and sometimes it's a cup of coffee to the car behind me.
Oh, I love it. Well, I'm super grateful to have you on. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you, Miranda. Every time I've been around you, you're a ray of sunshine, and you
thank
just
you so much.
definitely breathe that warmth into other people. And I can see it, and I can see it when I've been around other people and saw you and them, and kind of, you light up a room. So I love that about you.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So, and it's
thank you
been
so
my
much
pleasure. So thank you so much for thinking of me. I love being able to have this one-on-one time with you too.
It's awesome. All right, sweet lady. Mwah, 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 mwah. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks, everybody. Have a great Monday evening.
Bye.
Bye.